Hello again, it's Jesse here from the Financial Toolbox, here to answer this week's question. So the question comes to me and it's asked, Jesse, I've heard you talk about different types of debt. Isn't there only one type of debt, the debt that you want to pay off right away? Well, I appreciate the question, but let me clarify. In fact, there's three types of debt. But before we get into that, think of how do we learn about money? We learn about it from our parents. Any fears that they've had, that's passed down as well. So an old school way of thinking is just get rid of all your debt. But you want to pay attention to this because this is a secret to how the rich get wealthy. And this is important to know. Now, there's three types of debt. The first one you want to avoid, I call that bad debt. This is debt where you've enjoyed the experience and now you're paying for it. Think of credit card debt. Credit card debt is going to be a very high interest rate. It's compounding on a monthly basis. You've taken the vacation, now you're paying for it. So that's something you want to certainly avoid. It's going to get you further away from your next vacation and further away from your financial goals. That's your bad debt. Your good debt is where you're using a prudent use of debt to grow your net worth. Think of a mortgage on your home. Ultimately, you've made an investment into your financial future one way or the other, to your retirement, and the debt will eventually go down and the asset is expected to grow. Think of borrowing for an education cost, going into a student debt. Well, the payoff will be very well in terms of your earning power in your career. That's something to keep in mind. So that's good debt, where the asset is going to grow and the debt will go down. Fantastic debt is this is something you should put some time to focus on. This is debt where not only is the asset growing, but the interest is a tax deduction. Well, how can you do that? You can't do that with an RSP loan, but you could do that with an investment loan. You could do that with, some people do it with income properties. If you're a landlord, if you're renting out part of your house, you could deduct that portion of your interest. Now, that is a way that you could develop further wealth and have your tax deductions. But keep in mind, debt is something you should be very conscious of. Don't go into it unprepared because you can blow your brains out with this stuff. You need to have a proper plan and implement it suitably. And prudently is the best way to use it. But this has been going on for more than generations. The rich get wealthier with a good and prudent use of debt. They don't save up for their first house. They do a proper mortgage with it, and they use debt prudently throughout their lives. I hope I answered your question over here. If you have any further questions or you need specific clarifications, even for your situation, send me an email. Reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to see how I could help a little further. At any rate, I'd love you to keep the questions coming. I will keep wanting to answer these questions, and I think it's wonderful that you're sending them in. So, thank you for sending them in, and Jesse signing off from the Financial Toolbox.